Dimensional travel, and where do we go when we release these bodies and die? My name is Rebecca Abraxas. Today we are remembering our greatness through remembering the multidimensional infinite beings we are. So let's dive into this topic. Have you ever had a sense that something else is possible? That you are something else besides this body right here and now? If you have, you're right. You are a multi-dimensional infinite being. And the coolest part is that your infinite beingness is not just here, it's everywhere. There's only a small part of you that's focused with this body right now. And so why care about this information? Some of us, like myself, I'm a seeker and I'm like, what is it about my my beingness? What else is possible? What's going on? So maybe you're like me and have these types of questions. So that's what today's all about. That's what this video is all about. So let's uncover something. On my journey, I studied a body of work, and I really don't want to get into the name of it, but what they said was that to cross over into the 12th dimension, that we would need to go through the 6th or 7th, ninth dimension or something, because the 12th dimension was taken over by opposition. And I got all in my head about that. And I was like, what is going on? Like, why can I sense the 12th dimension? One of the people in that group got very scared of my awareness around the 12th dimension. So I had to kind of tune in and see what was true for me. And you're going to have to do that too. What's true for you? And what if what I'm saying feels like there's a pearl of truth for you, then that's probably so. And if what I'm saying is like, no, I don't buy it, then it's not true for you. We all have to come up with our own truth about the matter. Later in this video, I want to show you a practice and how you can dimensionally travel and experience yourself at different dimensions. Why? Because it's kind of fun. And then it answers some questions about where we will be when we release these bodies. The thing that didn't resonate with me about the 12th dimension, that I couldn't get there without, certain help or certain ET guidance and stuff like that, was because I could feel the 12th dimension. I felt like I was already there. I felt like I was already in the 13th and 14th and 15th and all the higher dimensions. I already felt myself there. Have you had that experience? Let me know in the comments. So for someone to tell me that I would need this whole like metaphysical experience to get there, I was like, it occurred to me after meditation today, oh, I didn't need that because I'm already there. The thing is, guys, we are a rainbow of frequencies, and on our awakening journey, when we become aware of higher dimensions, it's probably because we're already there. If we can perceive it, we are it. So the thing is, I started in my meditations visiting the different dimensions, and I could feel myself there. I could feel which ones felt contracted and which ones felt open. I could feel the possibility of the frequency there. So can we live those frequencies in this physical body right now? Now that's a whole nother question. And that's what ascension is all about, embodied ascension. But let's come on back to just our multi-dimensional beingness. So we are a rainbow of frequencies, and we get to tap into them. So I really want to teach you this very simple way of just traveling dimensionally. Now, the way you travel dimensionally with this body is that you get to just tune in to the frequency of it. Now, I love visiting dimensions via sound, letting out sound. So we can also put that in the mix today too. But the thing is, guys, when we release these bodies, we will be where we are. And so where you are now is where you will be when you pass. So in your wherever you are in your awakening ascension journey, whatever frequencies are alive and most focused on, that's where you'll be. So if you practice yourself at different consciousnesses, if you practice yourself at 4D, 5D, 6D, 12D, 13, 15, 144th dimensional consciousness, that's where you'll be. So where do we go when we pass from these bodies? We go to the dimensions that we are focused in. Now, I love to play in the 144th dimension. People might say that's impossible, but when I sing or when I sit in meditation, sometimes, a lot of the times, I say, I'm tuning into my sovereign self at the 144th dimension. And that's where I meditate from. And so I'm becoming really familiar with the frequency of that. Oh, and it's just yummy. So what are you curious about? Let me know, what dimension are you curious about? And I'm going to show you now how to play with that. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to get into a place where you can be still and have quiet and have quietude. And then you want to be undistracted, and you want to just sit there and get into your meditation for a little bit, 5, 10, 15 minutes. Really get into that space of expandedness. Really expand yourself out. Okay, that's the first step. Just get into that expanded space, okay? And then from there, all you have to do is say to yourself as you're meditating, what does fourth dimension look and feel like? And then what is fifth dimension? And then sixth. And then you just keep going up. And in this exercise, what happens for me is I get awareness. Sometimes it's static, and that's one that's I'm just not really focused there. And sometimes it's like this expanded light, and that's where I'm like, oh, part of me is focused there. Some of it's like just really contracted. So wherever your truth is, wherever is expansion goes, and there's light there. Okay, so notice where dimensionally you are lightest, and you'll notice that you have a little like footprint there, just like you have a footprint in this body. And so that's how you can start. So just ask, what does fourth and fifth feel like? You know, what is the sixth dimension? What is the seventh? What is the eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th? And then I like to go to the 144th. Play with vibration, play with consciousness. Remember who and what you are vibrationally. That's all dimensions are a different flavor of consciousness and vibration. So you get to play there. So do this little exercise, and please come back. Let me know how it is for you in the comments. I'd love to know. Now, if you want to add another fun step to that, you can put sound to it. So say you're visiting the fifth dimension, and you're like, show me the fifth dimension, and you just expand out, you see the light, you're like, oh, then literally let out sound. And you'll be able to hear the frequency in your sound. Now, what's so cool about this is that when you intend, the way sound healing works vocally is that what you intend comes through. So where you place your focus is what's going to come through the breath, the pranic information, and out the sound wave out of your mouth. So if you're focused in the fifth dimension and you have the intention to sound that frequency out, it'll come on out. You'll hear it and sense it and feel it. And then you can create like a somatic marker so that later in your day, when you're not in your meditation anymore, you can let that sound out, and it'll like expand you out into that dimensional consciousness for a little while. Isn't that fun? So I do this with light language and channeled singing that I do. I get into that space and I intend for whatever dimension or ascended self that I want to sing from, and I bring that through my voice. And I'm in practice of playing in that dimension, giving sound to people from that dimension. And it's super easy. It's super easy, and no, I should say it's super simple. It becomes easy when you practice this a lot. When you meditate every day, when you cultivate your vibrational alignment every day, when you are living consciously moment to moment, when you're living from awareness, right? When you are living in flow and trust of the universe, it becomes pretty easy. But to get to those points of trusting, of flow, right? That takes a little time. It takes some healing. That takes law of subtraction, getting the density out of your system. So yeah, there's that. But once once that healing is really on its way, that law of subtraction, you're subtracting that density, and you really tune in and remember who you are, and you sense it and feel it. Dimensional travel is super easy and fun and simple. And it gives you a sense of what life's going to be like without this body. Sorry if you keep hearing these sounds, that's my chair, it's so squeaky. So, dimensional travel. And when we release these bodies, perhaps that's where we go. Does that align for you? Does that sound like just right for you? Let me know. So, my beautiful friends, go have some fun dimensionally traveling, dimensionally finding yourself. And if you could use some support with getting to that space of settling into meditation, of feeling these dimensions, of using your voice to tone the different dimensions, let me know. In the descriptions below, there is ways to get in touch with me to receive a custom recorded sound journey specific for you and the things that you want to let go of and rise up to. There's also sessions that you can do with me on Zoom where we can just play with all of this type of stuff and support you towards your highest vibration. Beautiful being, have fun with this. Namaste.